Welcome back to the channel. Today's video includes Interstate 40 West into Nashville, Tennessee. The video begins near mile marker 236, just east of the Interstate 840 bypass interchange, and it ends near exit 210C, right in downtown Nashville. This was my first time not only recording the Nashville area, but ever being inside the Nashville area. And as you can see from the width of the road, 25 miles away from downtown, Nashville is a pretty big and very fast-growing city. Nashville is the state capital of Tennessee, and as of the 2020 census, had a population of 689,447. Keep in mind, however, that Nashville is a consolidated city-county, meaning its boundaries are virtually the same as Davidson County's. Its 2020 consolidated population was 715,884. This was a 14.7% increase from the 2010 census of 601,222. However, the Nashville metropolitan area has had even faster growth than the city itself. Its 2020 census population was 1,989,519, up nearly 21% from the 2010 census of 1,646,200, making Nashville one of the fastest growing cities percentage-wise in the United States. In fact, it's mainly due to the Nashville metro area that the state of Tennessee is growing faster than the national average. In 2020, the population of the state of Tennessee was 6,910,840, an 8.9% increase from the 2010 census of 6,346,105. The state had more than 583,000 more residents in 2020 versus 2010. And the two cities that contributed most to that growth were Nashville and Knoxville, or rather, their metro areas contributed to Tennessee's growth. As always, there is a link in the description below if you want to learn all the details about the history of Nashville. But in short, the city was founded in 1779 and officially incorporated in 1806. It was named after Francis Nash, who was a Continental Army general during the American Revolutionary War. Despite the city's struggles after the Civil War, it grew very quickly. In 1860, its population was 16,988. By 1900, it was already 80,865. The city grew throughout the early 20th century and reached its initial peak of 174,307 in 1950. As with many cities across the United States during that time, Nashville had experienced suburbanization. Many people started to move out of the city center, outside of the city limits even, and started living in the new suburbs. So the population shrank a little in the 1960 census to 170,874, or negative 2%. The population growth trend quickly turned around, and in 1963, Nashville consolidated with Davidson County, resulting in a 162.2% increase by the 1970 census to a population of 448,003 people. The growth trend of the city of Nashville was relatively slow in the 1970s and 80s, but it started picking up speed in the 1990s. In every census of the 2000s, the city gained more than 10% versus the previous census. Today, Nashville is going through a major skyscraper boom in its downtown area. A lot of buildings in and near downtown have been built in the last 20 years. A big part in the growth of Nashville, both by population and in its skyscraper boom, can be explained by a lot of people from out of state moving here, with the top two reasons why they moved to Nashville being the job market and the cost of living, as the majority of people moving to Nashville are from very expensive states like California or New York. At this spot right here, we have officially crossed into the city of Nashville and Davidson County. We took exit 221 right here so that we could fill the gas in our car. Tourism is actually a major industry for the Nashville area and contributes a lot to its economy. Just as East Tennessee is a good place for those who like nature, urban adventurers are going to like Nashville. One famous place in Nashville is the Grand Ole Opry, located a few miles northeast of Nashville along the Briley Parkway, Tennessee Highway 155. Well, they don't call it the Music City for nothing. Probably the most visited place in Metro Nashville is the Honky Tonk Highway. For me as a Louisianian, I find the Honky Tonk Highway quite similar to the French Quarter in New Orleans. It's kind of like what the French Quarter is to New Orleans, the Honky Tonk Highway is to Nashville. If you want to access the Nashville International Airport from Interstate 40, exit 216 is the quickest route to the terminals. There were some places in Nashville that we wanted to visit while we were there. However, because the places we wanted to visit were closed on Tuesday, we ended up spending the rest of the day in Nashville at Green Hills Mall, a large and upscale shopping center located about 4 miles southwest of downtown. As we get closer to downtown, traffic is starting to slow down. This is because two busy interstates are merging together, Interstate 24 and Interstate 40. I wonder what the engineers were thinking when they were building these highways back in the 60s. Did they realize that Nashville was going to grow as fast as it did? Interstate 24 West officially conjoins with Interstate 40 West at this point right here. While we were changing lanes, a red car unexpectedly sped up, and we nearly had a collision. This was probably the closest call we had this entire trip. You can begin to see Nashville's downtown skyline up ahead, although the view isn't that great, with the trees and stuff in the way. Interstate 24 West officially splits up right here. The video ends as we take exit 210C. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Click the links on screen if you want to check out more of my content.